Today we got two of the most powerful characters in the DCEU going head to head. Wonder Woman versus General Zod. Who comes out on top? Let's find out.
Eyes up. Stay sharp. Stay down. Final warning. I could do this all day.
Princess Diana Themyscira is an Amazonian warrior princess, one of the world's first superheroes, known as Wonder Woman. Born the daughter of Zeus, Diana grew up to be a skilled warrior and traveled from Themyscira alongside Steve Trevor to fight in World War I and defeat Ares, the god of war. In the present day, she helped Batman and Superman take down the Kryptonian monster Doomsday, and went on to form the Justice League alongside Batman in order to protect the Earth from future threats. Wonder Woman is superhumanly strong, being able to injure people like Ares, Steppenwolf, and Doomsday for attacks, and even stagger someone like Superman when he was resurrected. She also managed to flip an R-Heart into the air, lifted and threw a World War I tank, and destroyed a bell tower for charge. Also incredibly durable, being able to take attacks from people like Ares, Superman, Doomsday, and Steppenwolf. She's taken Ares' electric blast, and barely even been phased by large explosions. Finally, Wonder Woman is incredibly fast, being able to casually react to gunfire and deflect her bracelets, deflecting modern-day automatic gunfire, as well as deflecting a bullet right back into the barrel of a gun. She's also blitzed countless soldiers, and even though this version of Wonder Woman can't fly, she is quite the jumper. She's also quite the fighter, having been trained since a young age to become the skillful and feared warrior that she is today. She used her skill to fight against the monster Doomsday, the god of war Ares, and the new god Steppenwolf. She also got plenty of magical gear and weapons that she can use in a fight, including the Sword of Athena, she's able to cut through Doomsday, the Lasso of Truth, she's able to restrain Doomsday, and her bracelets, being able to deflect Doomsday's blast. In short, with a combination of her skill, physicality, and her weapons, Wonder Woman is one of the most formidable opponents in the whole DCEU. So, that's what we got in one corner, Wonder Woman. But, entering the ring, in the corner, one of the last survivors of Krypton, General Zod. General Zod is a Kryptonian war criminal and former general of the Kryptonian rebels, leading them during the event of the Kryptonian Civil War. Managed to survive the destruction of the planet Krypton and escaping from his Phantom Zone imprisonment, he viewed the purpose of his life to be the successful re-establishment of Krypton on another planet. General Zod was the first great enemy of the hero Superman, who ultimately defeated and killed him in combat after a prolonged, devastating duel in the heart of Metropolis. Being a Kryptonian, Zod has all the same powers as Superman, meaning that his strength, durability, and speed are virtually incalculable. He's strong to hurl satellites, destroy skyscrapers, and regularly sent Superman flying backwards with his attacks. He was able to create shockwaves with his punches, send Superman hurtling through buildings, and actually managed to get the upper hand over Clark several times in their fight. Zod is also insanely durable, being able to take plenty of attacks from Superman, even when Clark was angry and furious, or when they were experiencing this heat of re-entry. Finally, he's extremely fast as well, catching Superman by surprise and blitzing him during their fight, reacting block strikes from Clark, actually fast enough to climb up the side of a skyscraper. Zod is also able to fly, though he's shown that he doesn't have as much experience in the air as someone like Superman. He's also got heat vision that's powerful to destroy skyscrapers, and really all of Zod's senses are superhumanly enhanced. Finally, General Zod is a highly fierce, formidable, and ruthless opponent, and he's incredibly skilled in a wide array of Kryptonian martial arts. He also shows no remorse in killing opponents, attempting to vaporize helpless bystanders, they even hesitate to murder his friend on 2 different occasions. Overall, General Zod is easily one of the toughest opponents in the whole DCEU, combining the immense power that comes with his Kryptonian physiology with a ruthless and cunning tactical mind. So who wins? Let's break it down. Now in the DCEU, Kryptonians are essentially seen as gods walking among mere men, able to do essentially anything, and no man can really hold a candle to them. Well, Wonder Woman is no man. She's defeated old gods like Ares, battled against new gods like Steppenwolf, and she'll build a battle against General Zod as well. But who's ultimately coming out on top here? Well, let's find out. Now, first thing I really want to drive home, just right at the gate, is that the Superman from Justice League doesn't scale to the Superman from Man of Steel. It doesn't scale to General Zod from Man of Steel either. I mean, Superman in Man of Steel was knocked out from the strain of holding up part of an oil rig, while Superman in Justice League casually picked up an apartment complex and flew away with it. He didn't just pick up more raw power, but actually picked up whole new powers post-resurrection, like his freeze breath. Superman in Justice League is something else altogether. So just because this version of Clark was able to beat Wonder Woman doesn't necessarily mean that General Zod can beat her. And it doesn't even mean that Superman from Man of Steel could beat her either. And besides, General Zod couldn't necessarily scale to Superman and Man of Steel alone, considering that Zod was the better fighter, and Clark only won because he had more control over his powers and by absorbing yellow sun radiation for a longer amount of time. Basically, he was more powerful. If Zod was as strong, fast, or durable as Clark, even in Man of Steel, he would have won that fight. So I think it's ridiculous to claim that General Zod is comparable to Superman in Justice League, seeing how it's not even directly comparable to Superman in Man of Steel, and Superman has got a clear power in between now and then. I just really want to make sure that's clear up front. Alright, now let's get started. So even without scaling up a JL Superman, I still think it's pretty clear that General Zod is the stronger one here in this fight. I mean, just look at his fight against Clark and Metropolis. He was destroying skyscrapers with his punches, hurled Superman through several buildings like it was nothing. He was able to catch a punch from Superman in the palm of his hand and routinely sent Clark flying backwards or just completely decked him. Wonder Woman has never really shown that level of power, or that level of sheer destruction in any of her fights. In fact, she really doesn't have any pure strength feats comparable to destroying skyscrapers or things of that nature. She lifted him through a tank, toward a bell tower. That's not much when we're talking about Kryptonians. Like, that's more on Spider-Man's level than Superman's. But there are two things to note. First off, that was back in World War One, where Wonder Woman was the weakest that we've ever seen her, and she's gained a lot more power since then. I mean, she was even gaining more power throughout World War One, and getting to her fight against Doomsday, she's been gaining more power ever since. And second, they've got to remember, even if Wonder Woman might not have as many strength feats as other people in the DCEU, she's done remarkably well against these strong characters. She's charged Steppenwolf through a wall, was able to hold her own against Doomsday and even temporarily restrain him for lasso, and I even managed to stagger Superman with a headbutt post-resurrection. All those people are technically stronger than her, but she was still able to fight against them with her own strength. I'd also say that General Zod is more durable than Wonder Woman, especially considering the fight in Metropolis. He was bull rushed and punched repeatedly by an angry Superman. It was right after Zod had threatened his mother. Zod actually consistently managed to take attacks from Superman. He kept on fighting against Clark with the heat of re-entry, and he managed to recover from some attacks faster than Clark. But just like with strength, Wonder Woman is remarkably durable as well, and she's shown that she can take attacks from people stronger than her and brush it off. She was barely fazed by initial headbutt from evil Superman, was sent flying backwards by attacks from old and new gods like Ares and Steppenwolf, started a large electric explosion from Ares, and in her fight against Doomsday, when Doomsday decked her and sent her absolutely flying backwards, she got back up with just a smirk on her face. Wonder Woman was even able to take a no-holds-barred attack from evil Superman. And even though she was clearly stunned and injured, still wasn't knocked out. There's also one important thing to remember when we're talking about Wonder Woman. Unlike Zod, Diana doesn't have to take every attack. She's got her magical bracelets and her magical shield, and she can block attacks as well. I mean, that's what she mostly did during her fights against Doomsday and Steppenwolf. Use her shield to protect her from attacks instead of just her pure durability. Her bracelets will also come in handy, since that they blocked Doomsday's heat vision, which is more powerful than Superman's heat vision, who's got more powerful heat vision than Zod. So finally, we can talk about speed. There's actually one area where Wonder Woman could potentially take the edge. So Zod's greatest advantage is his ability to fly, and he's used this ability to surprise Clark, blitz Clark, and even send Clark flying off into outer space. But when it comes to fighting close quarters, he really only showed his speed on one occasion, when he blocked several of Superman's punches. On the other hand, Wonder Woman is a casual bullet timer, as even when on a crouched position, she was able to intercept every bullet from an automatic rifle and actually see the bullets and track them as they moved. She also been able to blitz opponents, and she's actually done this on multiple occasions, and even moved so fast in her fighting Ares that it basically looked like she had teleported. When the Kryptonians are at their full potential, they're obviously faster. I mean, just look at Superman and his encounters with the Flash. But General Zod isn't near his full potential. He was literally discovering new powers mid-fight. He's still new to this game. But with that in mind, Wonder Woman has shown that she is faster, or at least better at using her speed in a fight. However, with that being said, General Zod still holds a comfortable edge with strength and durability. If they were just in a hand-to-hand fight, Zod is coming out on top. Only thing is that's not gonna happen, because Diana has literally never fought hand-to-hand once before, and her magical weapons are gonna be a huge advantage in this fight. Arguably her saving grace, and her one true shot to come out on top. Now, Zod is a skilled fighter, probably the most skilled fighter with powers that Wonder Woman has ever faced before, but Wonder Woman is still better. In fact, people like Geoff Jones have even gone on the record and said that Diana is the best fighter in the DCEU. She's got around 5,000 years of combat experience under her belt, as opposed to the 30, 40 that Zod has. So whatever skill Zod showed in his fighting Superman and Man of Steel, really just pales in comparison to Wonder Woman. Diana's also incredibly skilled with all of her weapons, and they'll come in super handy in this fight against General Zod. She'll use her shield to block attacks. It's taken attacks from Doomsday, Steppenwolf, and Superman before. She'll be able to use her bracelets to block attacks, especially Zod's heat vision, seeing as they blocked Doomsday's heat vision in the past. If she can catch him, she can restrain Zod of her lasso, seeing as she's restrained Doomsday. And she'll definitely be able to cut Zod of her sword. She sliced off Doomsday's arm and leg. I mean, Doomsday basically is a hybridization of General Zod. So if she can do it to Doomsday, she can do it to General Zod as well. And I've also heard it suggested that since Doomsday is a Kryptonian human hybrid, having Zod and Lex's DNA, it's actually less durable, possibly even weaker than true Kryptonian like General Zod. Let me tell you, that's just an insane statement. Whoever makes it clearly didn't watch Batman vs. Superman. Doomsday survived that nuke while it took Superman out, and Doomsday consistently showed that he was stronger than both Superman and Wonder Woman, yet they was still able to injure and restrain Doomsday. She can do the same with Zod. Now there's one thing that I don't want to overlook about the Doomsday fight. She wasn't fighting Doomsday alone. She had Superman to back her up. I don't think she would have done as well without Clark continuously hitting Doomsday and spinning around to distract the monster. Doomsday also isn't as fast as General Zod, and the Beast can't form strategies either, just relying on strength, durability, and energy projection. So just because she did well against Doomsday doesn't necessarily mean that she can do the same thing against Zod. So end of the day, who wins? Who's coming out on top here? Well, I think if General Zod is fully adapted, able to tap into his full potential, he'll win. Kryptonians have proven their superiority to just about everyone else in the DCEU. But that's the thing, Zod isn't fully adapted, not even close. And while he's able to do well with his new powers, he was literally using them for the first time in his encounter against Superman. You could also even argue that Superman wasn't holding back against General Zod the whole time in their fight, seeing as he didn't want to put Zod down until he knew he had to. And after he realized Zod wouldn't stop, pretty much instantly killed him. On the other hand, Wonder Woman was able to fight against Doomsday, who's basically Super Zod. Hack off Doomsday's limbs. When Doomsday punched her, she just smirked. She's battled against and killed true gods like Ares, who is powerful enough to kill an entire pantheon of gods, and fought one-on-one against Steppenwolf, who is powerful enough to fight against Doomsday by himself at some point in the past. Even her fighting against Superman isn't that terrible of a showing for her, considering that Superman wasn't holding back for the first time in his life. Wonder Woman was holding back the whole fight. She never drew her sword, yet Diana was still able to stagger Clark with her attacks. General Zod got the advantage of flight, but Wonder Woman has the speed to react to him. She's fought stronger and more durable people before, and her magical weapons are going to be the ultimate deciding factor. It will be one tough fight, and Zod will definitely claim some victories, but I ultimately have to give this one to Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman wins. But what do y'all think? I would love to hear your thoughts, so sign off in the comments down below. Also, be sure to hit that like button, the subscribe button, turn on notifications, join the DanCo army, and I will see you next time.